Hey guys, um, this is the hardest video that I have ever had to make. Um, we had to put one of our four-legged babies down today. And it was the hardest thing that any of us had to go through. It just doesn't feel real, to be honest. We had this little rat terrier named Lacey, and I don't know, probably a couple of months ago, she started limping on her left leg, I believe, and we took her to the vet, and they did something called like a laser treatment. Well, it only worked about 2 weeks or 2 months. Didn't really do much. It worked for a while, but it didn't really help. This morning we noticed that things were starting to become a little worse. We did notice this yesterday. Her limping had come back and she was still in pain, and we were just right back to square one. The vet did say that these laser treatments will not make the problem completely go away. It will just help a little bit. This morning we noticed that it was a lot worse than ever before. She was limping and it looked like it was already getting into her hip, like it was spreading, which was making it a lot harder for her to walk on her left leg, where her limping was a lot worse. And she was running a little bit of fever. She was hot on her body. We knew that she was probably running fever. And we knew something was wrong. So we called the vet, and they told us to come to the vet at 2:30, that they would have an appointment for her. We took her to the vet. She was shaking uncontrollably. I don't know if it was because she was scared or she was in pain. I don't know. She was shaking a lot. So I tried to put her on the ground so she could just be independent. She kept she just wanted love. Me and my mom to love on her. Me and my mom actually took her to the vet. It was just the two of us. And early this morning, I actually texted my boyfriend David, and I told him about what was going on. He wanted me to put him on video chat so he could say some nice things to her in case this was it. When we went to the vet and we had made our decision, because we knew that she was in pain, and we knew that we didn't want her to suffer anymore. So even though it was the hardest decision to make, it was the kindest thing to do for her and not let her suffer. So we called my grandmother, because it was her dog and it was her decision to make. We called my grandmother, and she said that she didn't want to try another thing of laser treatments, that she thought that it would be best just to put her to sleep. So We told the vet, and he told us to wait in the waiting room so they can do the IV, because it's like a health thing. You're not supposed to be in the room when they're putting the IV in the dog or the cat or any animal, and that they would call you to say goodbye. So me and my mom were in the waiting room, and my mom had already started breaking. I hadn't gotten to that point yet. My eyes were watering a little bit when we made the decision. But my mom really somewhat started doing it in the waiting room. Even though it was my grandmother's dog, Lacey thought my mom was her owner. Like, she stuck by her for 2 years. So we waited in the waiting room for a little bit. Sorry, I'm yawning because I'm kind of sleepy. It's been a long day. I didn't realize you can see my yawning. I know how attractive that wasn't. So we waited a little bit, and then he called us back to say goodbye. So we were loving on her. She had no idea what was going on. She kept licking on us, and we kept kissing her head and loving on her. And he said that when we were done, that we could press the button to let them know that we were ready. That's about when I broke. I started crying hysterically. My mom was crying. It was just a very difficult thing to go through. Putting down a pet is the worst feeling, because you've been so attached with that pet for so many years, and it's just so difficult to say goodbye to them. So yeah, we loved on her a little bit, and then we pressed the button, and then I pressed the button because we were ready. He came in and he gave her tranquilizer to calm her down, make her sleepy. And then he gave the second shot where it stops the pet's heart, and that's the shot that puts him to sleep. It was so difficult. I was crying, my mom's crying, we were loving all over her while it was happening. My heart's still broken. I still can't believe this is even happening. We never thought that this would happen this sooner. We believe she's around 9 years old, so she's had 9 amazing years. And then next thing we know is she was gone. She actually died with her tongue sticking out. He says that some pets, depending on if they were licking before they died, sometimes it just stays out. And I guess she was licking the air when he was doing the shot, and she just died with her tongue like that much out of her mouth. Her eyes were open. It was sad. Her eyes were dilated, which we knew that she was dead. He even told us that she was gone. I knew it. So did my mom. We loved on her some more, and we had to take the harness off of her. We did have to sign paperwork saying that we're going to let them do what they need to do with her. That we couldn't take her home with us because we just couldn't do it. It was too difficult to put up with that. She had hip dysplasia, meaning that she started having some issues with her hips, and she had already started having arthritis in her back and was having difficulty walking and was in really horrible pain. It's been bad for a while, but it was really bad today. I love dogs to death. I never really was a cat person, but I've always been a dog person, and this is the hardest part about having dogs, is you know that they're not going to be around forever, as long as you want them to. I've had several dogs in my life, and it was not easy having to lose them. Seeing her being put to sleep and knowing that it was happening in the waiting room was so difficult. But the hardest part was saying goodbye to her and leaving her behind. We went into the vet with her, and it just felt weird leaving without her. And it's definitely, our lives are definitely going to be different. The house is quiet. She would always bark her head off at nothing. It's going to be quiet. It's going to take some getting used to not feeding both of them, walking them, bathing both of them. Just having her in the house, it's going to be different. We do still have our little beagle. She already knows something's wrong and different. I think it's going to take a little bit until she realizes that Lacey is not coming back. And I feel really bad for her too, because she's already been through this with a dog. When we had to put when we had to put Star down, my little black lab, that was Maggie's dog mom. Even though they were two different breeds, she basically raised Maggie. And when she lost Star, I know it was difficult. And she's going through the same thing with Lacey. And we're going through the same thing yet again with another animal. I just wanted to make this video real quick. I know that I never really showed pictures or videos of her on my YouTube channel, but she was a good dog, an amazing dog. She was always there for us, and we love her, and we'll always miss her, and she'll never be forgotten, ever. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video, let y'all know what's going on, because I tell y'all a lot of things on YouTube. Alright guys, I hope you guys not enjoy, because it is a sad video, so I hope y'all didn't enjoy it. I'd be worried if you did, but thank you guys so much for watching, and just being amazing, and just let us know what video you would like us to make next. We will see you guys in the next one.